So here we go then. Welcome to another edition of the recap. And today I'm joined by the returning James Farthing. It's been a while, my friend. I'm here to get to his 5 takeaways from the Town's win at Morecambe. A 2-1 win for the Blues to make it 3 wins in a row. What a week it's been, James. How are you doing, my friend? And talk about how good it's been so far.
Oh, it's great to be an Ipswich Town fan at the moment, isn't it, Ross? Absolutely very enjoyable in the main, watching Ipswich play. We're playing some really nice stuff for the most part, and we're getting the results that back that up. So, yeah, no complaints here.
Definitely, mate. Definitely, mate. And 3 wins on the bounce. Kieran McKenna is at the wheel and all that sort of stuff. Let's get right into your takeaways. A very different game at Morecambe that we're expected. I knew we were going to see a very tough game against a team battling for their lives at the bottom of the table. But I predicted, a lot of people predicted like big wins. But it was only a 2-1 win. But 3 points on the board.
Yep.
Let's start off with squad rotation because Kieran McKenna likes us to guess in terms of who's going to start up front. We pretty much know what the back four is going to be and all that sort of stuff. There was a few changes. Richard KEOGH came in. We'll talk more about him later. And then the Dapo wasn't starting. Your thoughts on the squad rotation as a whole?
Well, we seem to be getting a bit of a home team and an away team at the moment. It seems to be Jackson and John Jules that typically get the nod away from home. Ladapo seems to get home games. I don't know if that is a purposeful tactic or it's just a bit of a you typically would play a home game and an away game and vice versa. So I'm not sure if it is rotation or if it is that we are looking to get teams on the break when we play away from home. And if we are trying to do that, which kind of in the main is a decent away tactic because teams come at you a little bit more away from home because they want to impress the home fans, then playing players like Jackson and John Jules would, in my mind, be a clever observation and a clever bet. That being said, and I know it's incredibly easy with hindsight because of the game on Saturday, but we just won 2 games in a row at home. Everybody was buoyed. I think on Tuesday night, Ladapo had his best, especially in the first half, his best half of football that I've seen him play. So to kind of lose that momentum a little bit with rotating was a bit confusing. I personally also wouldn't have started Edwards. I think he's a really good impact player, and even though he scored 2 wonderful goals on Tuesday night, just for starting on Saturday, we all knew this was going to be a really physical game. This was going to be a real battle. Edwards is not really that type of player. Yeah, he would run at you, and actually he did a really good job in the second half. But I probably would have started. I probably would have stuck with Burns on that side, just because that has been the tried and tested and been successful, especially in the more recent past.
Indeed. Let's talk about your second takeaway then, my friend. We mentioned him already. Richard Keogh making his first start in the league for Town. And he was immense, weren't he?
Oh yeah, he had a really good game. He had a really good game against Northampton when he had the start in the Pizza Cup, and we were kind of wondering when is he going to get when he's going to get his chance in the league. Fridge a few weeks ago, people were saying, "Oh, he should come in for Fridge." People saying, "Oh, he should come in for Wolfie." And then Burgess got injured, and you're thinking, "Okay, maybe it's time for Keogh for some of these games." So yeah, this was probably the game which would suit him, and he's been very patient. I read some of the stuff in the build up to the game with I can't remember who it was, but the defenders were saying Keogh's really keeping them on their toes just because he's a ultimate professional, which is absolutely great to hear. You want those characters in the squad. It's unbelievable, really. I think he's a year younger than McKenna, so you kind of really need a good professional which has a really good attitude, because otherwise you'll just get an instant power imbalance. Because if you're working with somebody the same age as you, you kind of think, oh yeah, we're like of equal footing, of equal importance. Whereas uh, there needs to be a bit of a hierarchy there. Like McKenna's in charge. You kind of do what he says. You train to his standards. You take on board his tactics. And from reading everything from what Keogh what the players have been saying about KEOGH, I would say that he is a professional in that way. So that's really positive to have around the dressing room. And then he actually backed up on the pitch on Saturday. I thought he had a really solid game. A bit unfortunate on Wolfie. I don't think he really done anything wrong, but I think we're seeing more and more with this squad that you can have a rest rather than getting dropped. So like that's the attitude that's going to be instilled in this squad, is that like you're not getting dropped, you didn't play badly, but same with Ladapo, like you're not getting dropped, you didn't play badly. It's just that we've got different goals for this game, and the way we're going to play it are going to be slightly different, and therefore we've got players that we would rather have in those positions. And he's an Ipswich boy as well, isn't he? Or at least at least he grew up in the area and played for the academy, I think, many moons ago. So, I mean, we all dream of that, like
Yeah.
getting on the football pitch and winning a game for your club. So I'm sure personally for him, he I know he's had loads of caps, Premier League, Championship, absolutely everywhere, but to kind of do it to the club that you grew up in, I think that would be super special. And you kind of saw in his full-time celebrations the absolute yeah. Like, I think I saw. I think that was a picture. I might have been taken by yourself, Ross.
It was
But
indeed. Yeah, I
whoa,
got the picture. Yeah.
yeah, I saw that picture, and it's just like, yeah, that is absolute passion, and that's what a fan goes through on every match day. So for him coming in as like an Ipswich boy to win for your club, oh yeah, it just must be magical.
Yeah, he's definitely grown on me. Of course, when he first signed, it was very much like, okay, but he's another leader. You know, we can't just rely on Sam Walsh. I know there's other players who sort of can step up, but I feel like Richard Keogh was another leader on
Yeah,
that pitch.
he surprised me at how well he's kind of come in and just been like very humble in a way, and just be like, I know my position in this squad. I know I'm not going to be the first name on the team sheet, but I'm here to work as hard as possible, probably to uh, keep his professional career going as long as possible. Because when you do get to that kind of age, then keeping your fitness is probably paramount to play a decent standard of football. So by coming in and just getting your head down and really coming and supporting the team wherever you can, I respect that big time.
Definitely, mate. Definitely. And let's get right into your third takeaway then. Two penalties, not just one, but two in the same game. I think we looked at the stats. It was the last time we had a penalty was the Gillingham big win under Kieran McKenna back in January. But two penalties in the same game. Of course, Connor Chaplin missing the first, not a great pen. Then Lee Evans this time, stepped up and scored. Good penalty indeed. Yeah, two penalties in the same game for Town.
I actually can't believe it. I don't think the ref had his finest game, or let's just put it that way. But I think he got the two penalty decisions right. Just first one, very much more so than the second one. I thought having given one penalty, you kind of are a little bit more afraid to give a second penalty, especially to the same team. So I was surprised when he gave the second one, but upon replays, I can't have that many complaints. I'm looking with my incredibly blue tinted glasses on there, but I think they were deserved. But I just could not believe it. We bang on and bang on about never getting a penalty, and then, as you said, two penalties in the same game, and boy, we needed those two penalties. Poor old Connor. Just a weak penalty, wasn't it? You've I always find with penalty takers, I'm not for this. I'm not for this Jorginho style of guessing which way the keeper's going to go. I'm not of this persuasion that you should just try and just try and put it the other way. I feel like with pens, and maybe it's a bit of an old school style, but you should do a bit more what Harry Kane seems to do. Is like you pick your spot, whether it's down the middle, in the top corner, bottom corner, you commit, and then you just absolutely thwack it in. Because then if you're committed and you've given it everything, you can't have a regret to be like, oh, I put it too close to the keep. Well, I mean, it could be a bad pen, but if you practice every day in training, then you just got to absolutely thwack it. And I don't think that so many times you see penalties that keepers get touches on, but it's just been hit too hard, so it still goes in. So, I mean, I think he'll learn from his mistake, and well, that's what That's what Lee Evans did with the second one anyway. So that there was no mistake in that. He was absolutely putting his foot through that. And the reason, or one of the reasons that teams get penalties is that you've got players absolutely darting into the box with trickery, and that's exactly what Edwards was doing, and that's exactly what Jackson was doing. And having those players on the pitch that are tricky, that are fast, that's what gets you the penalties. We play a lot of football where we pass it around trying to unlock openings outside the box, but actually just getting players to drive into the box, that really does make a difference. And I like that tactic as a bit of a change up sometimes. So I would continue doing that.
Yeah, definitely. We've got a lot of players like that who, as you said, you mentioned the players. So
We just don't
hopefully
do it
more.
enough. We just need to
Yeah, yeah,
dart in more.
yeah. So hopefully more penalties to come because that'd be nice. That'd be nice. But yeah, as you said, that's what won it in the end is that winning penalty from Lee Evans. And your next takeaway is winning ugly, which
Yeah.
in League One you got to do it.
Yeah, I thought the first half we were probably the poorest that I've seen us play all season. That's credit to Morecambe as well. Like their keeper did come out pre-match and say they need to make it a bit of a dirty game, or like not overly physical basically, but just disrupting Ipswich, and they definitely did that. I think we tried to play them at their game, whereas we should have tried to keep our own game up with our like high tempo passing and stuff. But yeah, I thought we were really poor first half. Nothing was working at all, and the only real spark that caused us, that made us do anything in the first half, was actually Carl Edwards switching from the right hand side, where he had I think he was fairly unnoticeable for the first 40 minutes, and then he changed onto the left hand side near the end of the first half, and he cut inside. I think we hit the post at the end of the first half, and yeah, that was all from like him switching sides, so instant impact. And then second half we came out in the same formation with Edwards on the left, and I thought he and the team were a lot more at it. I think McKenna must have had a little go at them at half time. I mean, I can't imagine him getting really, really angry, but I think it would be kind of a disappointed dad kind of attitude to the team in the dressing room at halftime. They know they should be doing better, and we came out and hit them like a freight train. So kudos to us for kind of responding. I think we were only good between the 40th minute and the 70th minute. So I think we had half an hour of good play in the match. Fortunately, it was enough to get 2 goals, which was more than Morecambe. But yeah, probably one of our poorest games. But that is a sign of a team that might whisper it, be in contention for promotion. Because if you can win when you play like that and you're not at your best, then this team could go places.
Yeah, it's been said a lot already this weekend, but this sort of game last season we would have lost or would have just got a point. But
Yeah,
this
and
team has changed.
I know it's been said many, many, many times, but when you do compare this season's fixtures to the equivalent fixture last season, we didn't beat Morecambe away from home. We didn't beat Cambridge at home. Like, we didn't beat Portsmouth at home. Like, I can't remember all the fixtures from last year, but basically we've
We
got
drawed
an
against them last year. Yeah.
incredibly low points tally from the games that we've already played this season, and yet we're sitting in second place in the table this season. So marked improvement, really exciting to watch us, and yeah, I'm here for the ride.
Yes, we all are indeed, mate. I'm looking forward to the rest of the season already. 13 games played so far in League One. And let's talk about your final takeaway. And it is the league table because we are second, as you said. 30 points collected so far. 9 wins, 3 draws, 1 defeat. Of course, that Plymouth defeat on Sky. Yeah, it's looking good, the table.
It's looking great. And also, you looked on paper at the fixtures on Saturday and you were thinking, yep, Wednesday, they're going to win. Yep, Plymouth, they're going to win. Yep, Barnsley, they're going to win. Oh, hold on a minute. They didn't win. Oh, Portsmouth, they're going to win. Oh, hang on. They didn't win either. Can't remember who's up there. But the top 3, so us, Wednesday, and Plymouth, we all won. But then 4th, 5th, 6th, and I think 7th, all drop points. And that makes the table look very tasty now. And I think I haven't looked at it this morning, but I think between us and 7th place is something like 11 points now, which is absolutely phenomenal for, I would say, this early in the season. So being the pessimistic normal Ipswich fan, I'm still looking at that playoff line and thinking that is the absolute minimum that we need to be getting. But being 11 points clear of that line at this stage of the season is kind of the stuff of dreams, and probably what we all thought we were going to get in the first season when we came up. Well, sorry, when we came down from the Championship. But here we are in season number 4, and finally we're having something to smile about. Well, actually, we did have stuff to smile about at the start of the seasons under Lambert when we were doing well, and then it all went to crap. So yeah, it's really difficult not to get really excited about the way we're playing, the games we're winning, but you're going to be, if you don't get excited now, then you're already too far through the season to enjoy it, and then the season will be over and you've missed all your chance to enjoy it. So you've got to enjoy it now. You can't have too many complaints, and yeah, you just got to sit back with your smile on your face. You got to get that Ipswich Town shirt on, get that hat on, get that scarf on, go to whatever games you can manage, and yeah, just enjoy and soak in the Ipswich positivity at the moment.
Yeah, definitely, man. And I like the crowds have been fantastic. The away fans have always been fantastic, but home crowds, we've got Lincoln City this weekend, and it's going to be another pack out PR. It's going to be another probably 28,000 there. Any other business to wrap up the recap? It's just been one hell of a week, 3 wins in a row, second league, everything's all good. And yeah, this month's going to be an interesting one in terms of, we've got Derby this month as well, Charlton at the end of the month, which is going to be a big game in terms of, this time last year it was getting very sour amongst the town fan base and everything. But right now, everything's going so well.
Yep, you can see as you said, the home fans getting 26,000 on Tuesday night for a full price game. We're getting 28,000 for these slightly cheaper games. It's absolutely great to be an Ipswich Town fan. The only problem is I can't get a ticket in the North Stand Lower every week. But if that's the biggest gripe I have about the team, then we're doing something right. And yeah, I absolutely loving going down there. All the fans is buzzing, and people and families are clearly going down and enjoying it. Which, yeah, as you said, a little over a year ago, that was not really the case, and it was very sour. Kids would go, be bored. Like even when we were doing well under Mick, kids would go and be bored. So you don't get generational Ipswich Town fans when you play boring football, or like football where it's just you can't string 2 passes together. Whereas this kind of football, this will capture Ipswich fans for decades, and I know because I was one of them back 20 years ago when I went to football and we were in the Premier League, and I went to football and we were under Joe Royle, and that kind of football really encapsulated me, and we're playing some good stuff now. So I'm glad everybody's enjoying it and getting down, because that stadium deserves to be full with the way the team are playing at the moment.
Oh, what a way to end it, my friend. What a way to end it. James, thank you very much for joining me. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Hope you all have a good week and getting ready for another bumper crowd at Portman Road against Lincoln City. See you later. Bye-bye
Up
for
a
now.
town.